What's going on, everybody? We have XCFL Primetime action here. It's your boy Regan and Jared in me in the booth. Jared, how you doing today, buddy?
Surviving it, man. Living that dream.
Oh yeah, good stuff, man. Glad to hear you're having a good day after it was a pretty tough loss you took to Bracket in the wild card round. How are you doing?
Uh, I gotta give hands down. Bracket outplayed me that game. I way underestimated his team, and it cost me. Cost me big.
Yeah, the game where or the moment where it was a pick six it was a tie game, pick six, 35-35, I think it was, or 28-28. He throws a pick six, he's down 35-28. I'm like, oh yeah, it's done. Like I figured that's game, blouses, like give up, but you know, he maintained composure through that game-winning touchdown. How'd you feel about Keenan Allen breaking like 7 tackles to get it in on like fourth and goal?
So that one, that one didn't hurt nearly as bad as Demarius Randall dropping a pick on second and third down to ice or seal that game. Uh,
Oof.
that one hurt more. Keenan Allen, I knew was a beast, and it just didn't happen for me that game. It was meant to be. I
Yeah,
had a
man.
moral dilemma on my pick six. As I hit the 50-yard line, I was thinking, oh, I should just go down, make him waste his time out to the 15, and decided, nah.
You took the points. It was a bold move, man. I mean, it was tough because that was a game where offense was rolling. You know, you didn't trust your defense in overtime. And surprisingly, the defenses were kind of what came up clutch at the end.
Yeah, that I went to Galladay just one too many times, and he got the beat on that route, pick six me. Like I
Oof.
said, got to give it up to Brackett. Well played.
Well, a good game by him and a good game by you, my man. Congrats on a great season. And it appears we'll be having a good game today as they just kicked off in Cleveland. New England's visiting the Browns. What are you looking for in this matchup? You and I have both played both teams. What in particular are you watching in this game?
I'm kind of wondering how um, VBD is going to change up his defense a little bit more to handle Odell. Um, that's the deciding factor. If VBD can shut down Odell, I think he can win this game by at least 7 or 8 points.
Wow, it's Daddy Leagues had the spread. I think it was 2 points. It was I think it was I'm trying to remember. I think it was Patriots by 2 and it was Redskins by 5 was the spread that Daddy Leagues had. But, you know, as we well know, Daddy Leagues and its value system isn't the greatest, so
Right.
it'll
It
take
doesn't
like
always
a
work.
superstar receiver and be like, "Oh, so he's worth like a, mid fourth." And specifically, it's so specific with it. It's like mid fourth, late fourth. No, it's like, it's not just a fourth round. It's like, no, this guy is only worth a mid fourth. If you give him an early fourth, nah, man, that's not going to fly. He's only worth a mid fourth.
It's a bad trade at that point.
Exactly. You know, if it's an early fourth, nah, you don't need to give away Odell for an early fourth. It's just not worth it. But
And Odell's
crazy.
a stud. Um, how he compensates for throwing to and away from Derwin James is a big factor in this game too. So trying to use the other side of the field so he doesn't get those hit stick fumbles, um, that's big.
And it's wild. He's got actually four X factors on this defense, but only one of them is going to get their X factor abilities. As you can see, let's see. I
So, and that's
believe
what I thought about in your game was if he would have had Gilmore as the X factor, I think he sneaks that win away because Gilmore got his hands on the ball at least 6 times
yeah,
and
he did.
didn't come away with it.
That's true. So it's a good problem to have, if you've got four X factors on defense, you can decide which one you want to have, but he's got quite a
Rocky,
quite a squad. But the defense pays off there, and they force a 3-and-out on Cleveland's first offensive possession.
And that's going to be key is how limiting his possessions and trying when he does have possession to either minimize it with the field goal or to making punt. He can't beat you if it's a shootout game. I don't think he can stick with VBD's defense if it's a shootout.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really think I don't think Tosh is built to stop Saquon either. He actually got torched by Justin Jackson when the Chargers played him yesterday. So I'm interested to see if he can figure out the magic formula of stopping this run game. McSorley coming out in the gun. He's got White beside him in the backfield. Hands it off to White. White goes up and down around the 41-yard line, gain of about 5.
I'm still trying to get Stream up here. Violent's got a crazy ass name.
He does. He does. It's a V1OL3NT. Yeah, the 3. The I's and the E's in his name are 1s and 3s.
There we go. We're in it now.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, and we do have a pretty close game here. We got a 2nd and 5. McSorley coming out in the gun, and he's got White beside him in the backfield, taking the snap, looking to pass, has the out route outside, and he's got a nice little juke move, and he gets all the way up to the 38-yard line on the other side of the field. First down, Patriots.
So, and that's his game. You got to watch the slants and those out routes right there. And that's how he breaks people down is he mixes them up well enough to where you don't really know if you should play inside or outside.
I agree. And then he pounds you inside with Saquon. It's quite a deadly combination. We'll see what he comes with here on 1st and 10. Coming out with the slants. He's got an open man, gets it out to Calvin Ridley, and he gets a first down. Trace McSorley's 2 for 2. Yeah, you called it. The slants there, huh?
So those are definitely his 2 favorite routes, the outs and the slants. Cover 2 is what I used, but having Devin Bush in the middle is definitely a huge benefit against those slant routes.
And Tosh calls a blitz here on 1st and 10, but he misses the sack with a failed dive animation, bringing up a 2nd and 8 for these Patriots after a completion.
That hurts.
It does, man. That's brutal. You get a free runner.
Yeah, that hurts. Is when I'm a pass rusher and then I lose focus and start watching somebody in the back end and I run right past the quarterback.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst. That might have been what he was doing. Appears we got a little bit of lag here. Got VBD with Saquon going up the middle.
Saquon goes down. Oh, that could be big.
That is huge.
Wonder what happened. He was holding his wrist, so if it's a broken wrist, man, that changes the dynamics of this game. VBD comes out in shotgun a lot more with White.
And then Trace McSorley is going to have to win it with his arm, which isn't a very trusting proposition. Really?
Yeah, he's smart enough with the football. He doesn't try to force anything way downfield. He knows the strengths of his quarterback, and that's what makes McSorley dangerous. Is he has the ability to escape the pocket, and then you know he's going to find somebody open when he does that.
We'll see what McSorley goes with here on 1st and goal. He's under center. And he hands off the ball to James White, and he doesn't get anywhere. Stopped for a loss on the play.
Oh, I didn't see what the Saquon injury was. He exited out of it too quick.
Yeah, it was a broken thumb or bruised thumb, broken thumb. It says he'll return soon, so it appears that he's going to be coming back later in this game.
That's huge. But getting him off the field for this, well, it didn't even get him off the field for this drive. He came right back in.
Yeah, he must have hit keep him in or something like that. He knows he's the key to the game.
Oh, he had one. Oh, good. He moved enough in the pocket to find his tight end coming across. I love that route. Love that route combination. The little underpost and the one right above it. Great play call in the red zone.
We haven't seen much of Myles Garrett so far. Myles Garrett's been a little bit absent in this game. You know, you'd like to see a little bit more pass rush there. It seemed like McSorley had quite a bit of time to go through his reads.
And if he can't get to the quarterback, that's going to open up a lot more stuff downfield. That's his main pass rusher. That's who he needs to really get after this win.
I agree, and we're gonna have to see what the Cleveland offense has after going 3-and-out on their first drive and then giving up 7 on the second drive. So we'll see if this offense can rebound and maybe get something going. Where are you thinking about going here if you're Cleveland?
Right up the gut, man. I'm getting Hunt involved in this game.
It appears Tosh agrees as Hunt goes all the way up in the middle of the field. Perfect little dive call, and he gets 12, 15, gets up to the 50-yard line.
VBD has problems stopping a bigger back. So if you can get Kareem Hunt in this game and get him involved early, I think it's going to wear down that defense, and he's going to start knocking off big chunk plays here soon.
Ironically, I actually have the opposite opinion in a way. Maybe not from the running back perspective, but I think he's very, very soft in the passing game because his corners are pretty weak. You look at his safeties, they're pretty strong, but then his corners themselves, aside from Gilmore, of course, aren't the best. So I think he's got some mismatches outside.
Well, and I agree with that too, because I did attack Galladay on his second receiver. But
Yep.
when you have two receivers that can start for almost every team, like it's hard to cover both of them, man.
Very true. But the good thing is the Browns also have 2 pretty good receivers themselves that both have jukebox. So if they catch one pass, they could go all the way.
Already gone.
And we're going to have to see here. We got Baker Mayfield looking to roll right, and he dumps it out left. Wow, that was a nice throw. On the run, gets it to Landry.
Run in between 3 people, that's a great throw.
What a play by
Baker
Mayfield.
Mayfield showing what he can do.
Yeah, and there he is going to the number 2 receiver. That is the weak spot in this Patriots defense, like you mentioned before.
That and the defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle, yeah, that's also true. That's why the big back helps, pounding inside.
Oh, Kareem Hunt got the X Factor too. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
yeah, it's unfortunate for us, for sure, no doubt. Well, JMO's showing up in chat saying he's holding his wrist, so it was a sprained ankle. Apparently, it was a sprained ankle then, so that's pretty funny.
That's nice. It's good. It's good animation work.
Oh yeah. EA is fabulous with that, man. Best animations in the business, no doubt.
I've never seen a flaw.
No, me neither. It's perfect. Perfect game. No issues whatsoever. Baker Mayfield rolling right. Gets popped.
And that's why he picks up Bobby Wagner. That's exactly why he picks up Bobby Wagner right there.
Huge hit. Like you said, that middle linebacker roaming the middle of the field is so key. And there's Bobby Wags with a huge hit stick, bringing up a 3rd and 9 for Cleveland on their own 25. Mayfield coming out in the gun, bunch left. Looking to pass on 3rd and 9. Has a wide open field ahead of him, and he almost gets the first. We'll see if they give it to him. Depends on the spot. And they
I
don't.
kind of thought he probably should have fumbled there.
Yeah, it's especially with how how quarterbacks are. I definitely know quarterbacks fumbling. That's not the most fun thing in the world.
That's true. So I really think he's not running enough up the middle. Like we've had 2 runs this drive. I think he has to get Kareem Hunt involved.
I agree. 4th and inches might be the place to get him involved, but the quarter ends, and our score is 7-0. Yeah, I agree. When you have Saquon on the field, You can never have enough points on that offensive side.
The good thing for Tosh, though, is he has two really good corners on the outside. If he decides to commit to stopping Saquon and kind of selling out for the run, he's not necessarily going to get beat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. We're gonna have to see Saquon here on the second drive for these Patriots. Brings up a 2nd and 6 from about the 30-yard line.
He's definitely not worried about the receivers running past his corners. That's for sure.
And he's got a good secondary, man. That secondary is top notch. You and I've played it multiple times. Those two corners can run with anybody.
Absolutely. And he's got that out route again. That's beautiful.
And he's got a wide open field ahead of him. And he goes down after a big gain. Trace McSorley has not missed a single pass so far. He's 6 for 6 for 70 and a touchdown.
That's what I'm saying is he doesn't force anything. He knows what his quarterback's good at, and he sticks to that. He's not going to try to force the ball downfield.
McSorley in the gun. Runs with Barkley up the middle for a gain of about 4, up to the 50.
And we're talking about VBD's defense not being able to stop the run up the gut. Tasha's defense is pretty vulnerable right up the middle, too.
He is. He gave up quite a bit of yards to Justin Jackson last game, as I mentioned before. So we'll see if he can continue to stop Saquon Barkley. He hasn't had any big runs yet, but we will have to see. There's White for a short gain up to the 46. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. And
I do got to admit, VBD's a lot nicer than I am, because if I had Saquon, James White would see the field very, very rarely.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's tough this year, though, with running backs, because if you pound them too much, sometimes they get hurt. So you kind of got to balance their carries. He says the reason he does it is so Saquon stays healthy, which is a very big deal. And we're going to see James White here on a little angle route. This is another one of his favorite plays. We'll see if he runs it. And there it is. He's got James White out of the backfield. And
he knew it was coming. He knew it was coming, and then we see Myles Garrett get his sack of the game.
There it is. Cleveland defense coming strong here. 4th and 13. They're forced to punt.
Oh, he's got Odell returning punt.
Yeah, OBJ will be taking it in. There's a nice return. Good little juke move. Wow. And he gets all the way up to the 46-yard line. That's huge for this Browns offense to start.
That almost might be worth kicking it shorter just so Odell doesn't have the chance to get that return on you.
Yeah, him or Landry, man, because he had Landry returning punts against me. You know, OBJ and Landry both have the jukebox trait, so it's pretty deadly. It's a deadly combination there at 1 and 2.
Seeing Kareem Hunt get going in this game.
Hunt has the super hurdle, so it'll be interesting to see if he uses that or if he's going to go more towards the more power break tackle animations.
I bet you $5 that we see at least 2 hurdles in one play during this game.
I could definitely see it too. We got a big hit by Bobby Wagner there on that play, huh?
So, and that's what I've realized is the best ability for a middle linebacker or safety to have, enforcer, where it automatically gives you the hit stick for a non-controlled player.
And it can't be broken either. You can't break that tackle. So it's pretty OP. You know, like you can't. Ooh, and there's a little good escapability by Baker Mayfield as he throws out of bounds up at about the 42-yard line.
Escape artist coming in clutch.
Escape artist always comes in clutch, man. To me, that's the one bright spot about Lamar Jackson. But if you look at Baker and him are exactly the same speed coming out of the pocket. So it really doesn't help him very much. You know, it's to be 95 speed. There isn't much difference between him or, you know, Baker for that matter.
No, there's not. And that's why it sucks to play both of you guys in the division.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you
Like, I
hold
got
your
Josh
own, man. You've made the
Allen.
playoffs the last 2 years. I had the first two. You had the second two. Hopefully, one of these days we'll have all three of us that make the playoffs. But 11 and
I thought
5
it
just won't
would
cut
be this
it,
year.
man. It's brutal. Yeah, I thought it would be too. But man, Chad decided to wreck our plans, and he made the playoffs instead.
God, I
Another
hate that guy.
right, man. Geez, terrible dude. But we
Him
have
and Nick.
yeah, man. Nick, it's just tough. It's tough all around. We got a big tackle there by Bobby Wagner again, stopping the first down. So we'll see how this game plays out. It's been kind of a defensive battle up to this point. Not much offense to speak of.
It's good. It's going to be hard for VBD to blitz. Um, when you have all of those, that's a big sack, and that's a
It is.
four-man rush. That's exactly what VBD needs. Like I was saying, it's going to be hard for him to blitz with three superstars and one superstar X factor out on the outside.
I agree, and it was
Dude,
cool to see. It was cool to see the contain there. That was so big. He decided to put on the contain, and as soon as he scrambled right, Von Miller sacked him. So contain is so big whenever you're playing a guy like Baker, that likes to kind of scramble left or right. It kind of helps
yep.
set that edge and forces a huge sack.
Well, and I think VBD knows what Baker's X factor is, and it's all about getting outside the pocket. So if you can
Exactly.
keep him in the pocket, it definitely helps your chances, especially with interceptions.
Very true.
Todd had one throw that he got outside that he threw into like quadruple coverage, but since you can't pick it off, it bounced off like three of my guys' face masks, and then Jarvis Landry took it to the house.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Man, that's tough. That's tough. I haven't had anything like that happen against him, but if I did, I'd probably have to like throw a
Oh,
controller or something.
all you can do is laugh.
That's true. That's true.
There's
Got to keep
nothing
it.
else you can do in that moment.
Take it with a grain of salt. Madden 20 is all about just who can outlast the other guy and not rage out.
Exactly.
Because it's funny because it
Oh,
it
big
comes
play. He's
back.
got his
It'll come
back
back
end.
your way. Ooh, McSorley, huge pass there. Oh, breaks a tackle. Nice post route there, and that'll set them up nicely after a big stop by the defense.
So here we have Tosh scoring twice and deciding not to go for it on 4th and inches is still down. Um, if McSorley can come out here and put a touchdown in, that's huge. And it's probably going to make Tosh really think about going for 4th down on every drive from here on out, really.
Yeah, no joke. And that sack really came back to bite him, though, because it was 2nd and 2. You were way ahead of the chains, and then you take an 11-yard sack, bringing up a 3rd and 13. It's brutal. It's tough. Tough to handle.
That's trusting your quarterback's ability a little too much right there. Tosh got caught up in knowing that Baker has a good break sack and can use that escape artist. And Von Miller said, nah, not today.
Give me a
And
second.
here's where I
to
get a heavy
message.
dose of Saquon.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 2. You're on the other side of the 50. You're satisfied with just getting a field goal on this drive, honestly. I think that being up 4 points is big. I'm trying to remember who started. Don't the Patriots get the ball at the beginning of the second half?
I wasn't able to find the stream for the first portion of it.
Okay. Then I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure that it was the Patriots that kicked off to begin.
That's another. Uh-oh. What happened?
Huh.
I've never seen that before.
I haven't either. That's weird. That's really weird.
I'll go ahead and send VBD a message to see if he can reset up his stream.
I think his whole Xbox might have just died.
Ooh. Honestly, if it did that and they have to restart the game, Tosh comes out the beneficiary of that one.
Oh, it looks like I think it's his stream cut out, so he's just setting it back up now.
Oh, okay.
We'll just have a little. Oh, this is a good time to use my. Nope, never mind. It's back up. Okay, cool. So 24 seconds to go. We might have missed a little bit there, but we're all caught up. And it looks like the Patriots are on the 35-yard line. I must have taken a sack on 1st and 10, bringing up a 2nd and 16.
I'm still. All right, back up. See if I can back out. I gotta reset the stream, I guess.
Yeah, if you refresh the browser, you should be good.
Yeah, I tried that. That didn't work either. About to pull it back up. And then I've got a super needy dog. Wait, bro.
Oh, nice pursuit there by Luke Kuechly. Hold them to a short gain, bringing up 3rd and 14, and they've only got the ball at the 33. So this is you try to get your pass here, and if you can't, you can go ahead, kick your field goal, take your points, move on to halftime.
Yeah, you can't be mad about 3 points here. Take the lead. Know that a field goal can't beat you and that you have a very solid defense. Like the position you're at going in. This is one of my favorite plays, too.
Ooh, and there's a sack by Myles Garrett.
Ooh, does that take him out of field goal range? It does. I thought the wind was going in their face.
Well, that's a big win for these Browns to come away with a stop and no points. And they get the ball back with 2 timeouts.
That's heartbreaking. But that's why you have somebody like Myles Garrett on the line to cause situations like that.
That's true. He's an X factor. That's what he does. He just disrupts. Plays so well.
But in that situation, you kind of know that you're probably not going to score. If I'm VBD, I probably would have ran that ball to make sure that I got closer and to run down that clock a little bit.
Kareem Hunt was still going. It looked like he might have broken that for big yards, but they get him down after he gets held up by the crowd. And that'll bring us to halftime here in First Energy Stadium at Cleveland.
This game going a lot different than the first time these two met in the season.
It certainly is. We got a much more defensive battle where it was much more offensive in the last time they played.
Yeah, I think VBD came in with a very good game plan. He stuck to his guns. He's not trying anything that's outside of his quarterback's means. And I really don't think that he's got Saquon involved enough.
He's really got to account for Myles Garrett, though. That might have been the one thing that he missed.
That's going to be the one thing everybody misses. You can't account for him.
Ooh, and there's Saquon on a big run. He might be a gone. He might be a goner. Look at that. All the way. Touchdown. Saquon Barkley. Well, it was a simple little bounce outside, and he feasts all the way to the end zone. Touchdown.
And as soon as I say he doesn't get him involved enough, he comes out and breaks a huge one.
He does. VBD's got that roster, man. He's got a – that is his offense. You have to stop Saquon, especially outside. That's got to be your number one priority. Force him to run directly at Luke Kuechly instead of going sideline to sideline. I like Tosh's matchups inside. That's what's so funny is I don't know how Tosh has been more vulnerable on the inside. I think he's got a good run-stopping core in that middle of the field. It's almost as though – I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's scheme or just play calling, but you want to get you funnel the runs directly up the middle because that's where Luke Kuechly will be.
Well, and I worry more about Luke Kuechly as a pass coverage person than I do a run stopper. Now, don't get me wrong. I know he's good at run stopping, but I'd rather run at him than throw it at him.
That makes sense. Oh, big catch for OBJ over the middle. Jared Davis was there, but you can't have a linebacker on a receiver in this league. And OBJ hauls in a big catch, puts him over the 50-yard line.
And he caught him in that cover 2 running the post route, that cover 2 beater, and matching up against the linebacker. He's just lucky that his linebacker's fast, or else that's to the house.
Looks like an obvious face mask penalty here. Byron Cowart, like you said, D tackles are a little soft on this Patriots defensive front. So we're going to see if that bites them in the buns as we continue going.
VBD has done a good job of building the core people on his team, but there's a couple pieces that he's missing, and you really have to attack those. As defensive tackle and a second corner, you have to go at in these games to get up on him.
And Bobby Wagner with another tackle. He's been in on a lot of those. And the passing yards, statistically, heavily favoring the Patriots. The Patriots have 80 yards passing. And ironically, the Browns only have 20 yards passing with all the sacks that he's taken.
Well, you finally got Baker Mayfield entering his zone. So this is where Tosh feasts. He can get out of the pocket. He doesn't have to worry about throwing interceptions. Gilmore's not going to be able to pick it off. So now is the time that playing defense that really sucks against this team.
And you have to play contain here, and he doesn't. It looks like he's just going to rush 4. To me, I think contain is a must. When you see Baker Mayfield in the zone, contain does a pretty good job of keeping a quarterback in the pocket, because if you got an even decently fast defensive lineman, much less a guy like Von Miller or Carl Lawson, those guys, they'll stop you outside every time.
Yes. And since all of his stuff is based on getting out of the pocket anyways, using that contain to help keep him in, I would take my chances with him running up the gut rather than having the not able to pick outside the pocket thing.
Yeah,
and
that
boom,
was a nice play.
Big hit by Bobby Wagner to cause that incomplete pass. And again, that's why he picks him up in the offseason or in the middle of the season.
He gave up a lot too, but Bobby Wagner has proven to be more than effective, and it appears Bobby Wagner has entered the zone. So he's got his lockdown or shutdown zone ability. He's got tighter coverage and more interceptions on contested catches. So we might see him. It's Baker versus Bobby Wagner here in the red zone. 3rd and 11 for Baker.
And in the red zone, Bobby Wagner's way more effective because there's a lot less space for him to have to cover. And you can see him go ahead and get that jam on the receiver, which is something that you don't see a linebacker do when they're not in the zone.
I agree. And you got Baker Mayfield trying to throw one there, take advantage of that X factor. And he does not get intercepted, and it misses, but it forces them to take a field goal. And they keep it a 1-score possession, 5 points.
And Tosh plays it super smart. He knows he can't get picked off outside the pocket, rolls out and goes ahead and throws a ball that in any other situation the defense is coming away with.
Yeah, it was triple coverage. Everybody was underneath. It was one of those that he can't. He can't lose in that situation. You either get a touchdown or you take your 3 points. It is a very nice beneficial thing. We haven't seen any guys with the Aaron Rodgers archetype. Right now we have Baker Mayfield with the run and gun, which is the only one that can't be intercepted by CPU defenders. So he's kind of the meta right now at quarterback.
Yep.
And Calvin Ridley with a big catch over the middle. Trace McSorley, although he might not be the meta, he's certainly more than serviceable, as he's got 9 passes for 9 completions, over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. This guy has, or 1 touchdown, excuse me. He's played very well.
And that's VBD being smart too, knowing that in route, he's not going to have time with Myles Garrett coming down. He's got to get rid of it, switch it to a slant, and got a good 9 out of that.
And there's a big hit by Luke Kuechly inside. That's a X-Factor linebacker versus an X-Factor running back, and the linebacker won that matchup.
Still got the first out of it, though.
That's the benefit, though, is I believe Luke Kuechly has the enforcer trait. So, if he's got the enforcer, his tackles can't be broken. So even if you're Saquon Barkley, you're still not getting your tackle broken by Luke Kuechly.
Agreed. And there's a good job stopping Saquon for a loss.
which
That's
doesn't
a good
happen
blitz
often.
call.
That's pretty rare. And here's Saquon Barkley. It looks like they're going to go to him again. McSorley under center, hands off to Barkley, right up the middle, got a big hole. Jukes one man out and goes forward for a gain of about 6 up to the 40-yard line and bringing up 3rd and 4.
That defensive tackle was literally nowhere to be seen on that play.
He just got completely mauled by that Patriots offensive front. Trace McSorley coming out in the gun. Looking to change the play, but he's not sure what he wants. But he runs it as normal. McSorley looking to head outside. It's in double coverage and almost intercepted. That was Denzel Ward outside. That could have been costly for these Patriots.
That would have been huge.
And the punter for the Patriots boots it deep to the waiting OBJ. OBJ is going to whip out one of those saucy jukes, and there it is around the 25-yard line, 21.
So there you go. Again, I think that he should have tried to kick it shorter, maybe at the 10-yard line, and give your guys time to get there before Beckham can actually get his feet going.
Beckham
That's
still
how
gets
I'm
20 out of it.
He
Still gets a huge return even after, getting tackled for pretty solidly. Didn't juke anybody out, just goes down, but still gets a gain of 20.
Yeah, that having him as your number one receiver and your return man, like that's a lot of opportunities for touchdowns. Just an extra possession for him to get it.
Man, there's another huge hit by Bobby Wagner. Inside, man, he is a force.
What are we at with yards wise against him? 1? He's going to be in his X factor for a minute.
Yeah, 30 out of 30 yards, he's only given up 1 yard. Baker Mayfield going outside and dumps it into row F.
Ooh. And that's that escape artist ability to give him that little bit of extra to be able to throw that away. Because I thought Von Miller was about to enter the zone on that one.
See, it's not just escape artist, man. Baker has bailout, which is before he gets hit, he's more likely to throw it away, even though he might be getting tackled, he's still likely to throw an accurate pass. So most quarterbacks would have begun their animation and gotten sacked there, but because Baker Mayfield has that ability, he threw it out of bounds. But it takes him out of the zone. And so with that incompletion, Mayfield needs to try and make something happen. And he's got his man outside. That is Antonio Callaway, and he's got the first down.
That was one of the people that when they started this game that I thought VBD wouldn't be able to cover it. With having to worry about Jarvis and Odell on the outside, I thought Callaway would be able to run wild.
I agree. With only having one solid corner, when the Browns have 3 good receivers, it's pretty hard to cover them all. The math just doesn't add up.
VBD doing a great job at defense right here. Not trying to play out of himself. He's not allowing any of the big plays that the Browns are used to feasting on. And as soon as I say that, but it's a fumble. And they pick it back up.
And you know who that is? Can you guess? Can you take a wild guess?
It's probably Derwin James.
It is. That is Derwin James. Who else to lay such a bone-crushing hit on OBJ? But they still, or Callaway actually. So they recover the fumble, bringing a 1st and 10 for these Browns up across the 46-yard line. Huge play there.
And they didn't get it, and it knocks Bobby Wagner out of the zone.
They have the yards. That is. Big run there. Oh, and I don't know if that counts as outside the pocket or it's like throwing the run. I don't know. That's a weird, I don't know if that counts as outside the pocket or not, just because, but Bobby Wagner nonetheless swats it away and says, nah, not in here, not in my paint.
But he doesn't even get the force an incomplete pass on it. It doesn't go to him.
Yeah, true.
So, in that situation, I'm not a big proponent of running the football with my quarterback, but right there, I feel like you probably should have just go ahead and take that run, get the 7 yards out of it, and just go to second and third.
Nice block outside by OBJ holding that safety down, and he gets about 5 yards. What could have been a big loss if the block on the outside wasn't there.
And he's kind of starting to run away from Von Miller. Not a whole lot of runs right at him, which is who I'm going to attack on this defense because he's either going to stop you in the back or you get a big gain out of it. So I'm going to take my chances running at Von Miller.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. We got a run on 3rd and 5, and McKinnon goes down for a loss.
Tosh goes for it here. There's no way he doesn't go for it here. He already knows what could have happened if he was on 4th and inches. He has a good chance of scoring on that drive. I would go ahead and go for it. It's 4th and 4. 3 points doesn't really do a whole hell of a lot for you because you're still giving it back to Saquon.
Yeah, that's a bold move, man. I mean, part of me says you take the 2. You know, your defense has been playing well. I think you can get another stop, and then you're only 3 points behind rather than having to score a whole touchdown because he hasn't actually scored a touchdown this game. It's been all field goals for this Cleveland team.
But I don't think he wins on 5 field goals.
That's insane. That's insane. He kicks the ball up. That's insane.
He misses his tight end on a wide open route coming over the middle, and Jarvis Landry bails him out. He had the right play call, threw it to the wrong person. His tight end might still be running.
It would have been a touchdown for sure. That one was wild. Baker Mayfield looking to pass outside, and he's got his tight end there. He's not missing him that time. Njoku picks up 8, 2nd and 2.
Woo. Jarvis Landry just bailing him out all the time. What's he going to do when both those receivers retire?
VBD in main chat said, "You got to be effing kidding me," and I think that is exactly how we feel too.
No
in
doubt.
Chat says
Absolutely.
That play was insano.
With you got screwed on that one.
Yeah, bro. That one's Madden. You can't lie about that. That's like that's full Madden straight up. We got
Well, it's not like I didn't say it before this game that Landry had a stupid catch on me like that too.
You did.
So
you called it. You had that called.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Yeah, you called that, man. We got Flame Slinger. Is that Jace? Is Jace Flame Slinger? I can't remember. I think that's Jace. Jace, if it's you, say hi or something. You know, good to see you in chat. We got Robert here. Robert was also floored. He said, "Wow!" whenever they made that huge catch. Some of those plays, man, it's larger than life. This game is wild. We got a huge first and goal, which Hunt goes down in the backfield. That's the first time I've seen that today. Jared Davis with a big tackle behind. It's a me. Yeah, it is. Good to see you, Jace. I figured, I was like, you have Flame Slinger. That doesn't ring a bell, but I think that's Jace. Just like, had a gut feeling. Robert said, "Are we rooting for VBD so we have Super Bowl tonight?" Oof. I don't know. I mean, that's tough. Can we root against or can we root for a division rival, Jared? Is that like legal?
No.
No, nah. He's like, no, this doesn't compute, man. This is not possible. But you know what's wild is that little angle route that we know VBD loves to run. Tosh hits him with it and gets a touchdown. They'll get the lead here. He's going for 2, wants to have that 3-point cushion. Baker Mayfield, I'm thinking RPO. To me, it smells like RPO. It's the slant play. Same kind of formation, but he does not get it.
And
New England.
It gets batted away. I kind of figured because that's one of VBD's favorite plays too, but he usually goes to the tight end on that out route. I don't. Oh, and then kicks it out of bounds. Ooh, man. You're giving VBD a very short field to take the lead here.
It
That
is. He must have
sucks.
gotten hit with a lag or something. That's brutal. He got I do want to say though, Double Nut up in chat, you know, Double Nut, you'll never be a loser, bro. He said it's kind of funny. He's like, I'm such a loser for watching games from a league I'm never even in anymore. Go Tosh. And I said, bro, so me, man, you're always going to be a part of this league, Double Nut. We love having you here. You're a funny guy, and I guarantee you probably lift more than all of us. So if we ever need somebody in a bar fight, we're coming to you. All right, that's why we keep you here. We're like, all right, if we need to get in a fight with another league, we're sending Double Nut. He's our chosen one, the warrior.
You're my first round draft pick.
Our first round, yeah. If we play flag football, I know Double Nut's gonna get the ball every time, man. We're just gonna send him up the middle. Good luck.
Yeah.
If we play tackle, yeah, dude, Double Nut for sure. Like first, second, third round pick every time.
Yeah, man. And Nick, you're like an undrafted free agent that gets cut.
Oof, big oof. Nick, the undrafted free agent, and he gets cut from a flag football team. That hurts.
Yeah.
We got
Here.
James White running the ball. Man, he's already in field goal range in like what, 2 or 3 plays. We're just sitting here talking, and New England's
So
just
this is
running their
prime
offense.
state one time. Like you're not gonna stop him 3 plays in a row.
It is.
Uh,
And you
You're
know
just
what?
not gonna do it.
But you know what? He's one play away from his first one free X Factor. So if he gets one more rush for 10 or more yards, he's got the first one free and can pretty much. I mean,
I
that would be huge.
don't know how much first one free actually is that much of a benefit because he already has the jukebox and he has the spin cycle. So it's not like he's not going to make the first person break anyways.
No, you're right. I agree there. I agree. And that's tough because, like, I've kind of thought that too. Like, to me, first one free is like, okay, cool. Because, like, I have it for Marquise Brown. And the only time I've ever seen it, like, really matter was in our game. Do you remember when he had the, like,
The
4
three
broken tackles?
and they got
Yeah.
smoked by Darius
Yeah.
Randall.
And then he gets hit with the face mask. I was like, what the? Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad, bro. That one hurt me inside. But still, that's the one time I've seen it where it was just like insane. He was breaking every single tackle. I was like, wow, okay. But
Well, Rashad Penny has it, and I don't really notice a big difference on it. Because usually when you're trying to use it, whoo,
good play
I
there,
really
man.
thought that corner was going to break on it a little faster.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, that's Greedy. That's Greedy Williams, man. Greedy Williams. If he's that tight, usually he's coming away with a pick. So
And if he's
Minnesota
running
got
those
away with
out
one.
routes and Greedy takes one of those, it's to the house. He's too fast.
He is on N'Keal Harry. Yeah, no chance. It's done. N'Keal Harry getting the pass here on 2nd and 10.
But back to that first one's free. When you're using it, it's usually like in the after like 10 yards or something like that when it's really important and there's 2 people coming at you. So it's not as big as what people think. It's the jukebox that's the huge ability that you want for your running back.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like the X factor. So which X factor would you prefer for the running backs that you've seen so far? X factor, not superstar ability.
Probably the trucking, the one where you automatically get the truck on them. If you could get jukebox, spin cycle, and the trucking thing, which I don't think it's possible,
No, it
then
would be insane.
you guys are stupid.
Bro, that'd
But
be
I think
wild.
the trucking one is the most beneficial because I've seen it run over 3 people in one tackle.
Wow. Yeah, and will we see New England get the field goal? That only gets them 2 points on Cleveland, and Cleveland has scored a lot of field goals in this game. They've been doing a good job of getting into field goal range. We'll see if they can come up clutch here. Wow, that's a big return. He's almost in field goal range. Give him 20 yards, and he'll be right in the middle of field goal range. That's wild.
And the problem with that is now Tosh has the ability to kind of ice the game if he plays it right. A couple first downs, the clock runs out, and he kicks a field goal for the win.
Absolutely.
That was worst case scenario by VBD's kick right there.
Yeah, I'm probably with you there. I think 100%.
Oh, and
Oh,
almost had
big
him
arm
offside.
tackle. That was a huge arm tackle. He had a hole the size of Kansas in that one arm by the defensive tackle Malik Jackson. stops him from taking that one probably 10 to 15 more yards.
And I've talked shit on his defensive tackles all game, and huge play right there. Huge play.
Sure enough, they come in clutch, man. It's like just whenever you jinx them, just whenever you think it's not possible, that's when Madden decides to say no. It very much is possible. Well, I wonder what we're going to
What
see out of this play call. I don't like seeing out. I'm going to tell you why. Wow, I'm surprised he did not throw it there. I hated that play call. I hated that because to me, I'm going to OBJ in the slot there every time. I don't care if I'm running,
I
should
agree.
be running. Nah, bro. Give me that 5, 10 easy yards, if not more.
The only run that I really like in that situation is a toss to get way outside without that linebacker coming up and making a play on it.
True. Another good one. Yeah, that's another great. Oh, but a big run here. Derwin James saves a touchdown. Nice play by Big D.
What Tosh has done very well in this game is he's kept Von Miller and Derwin James out of the X factor. Von Miller only having 1 sack on the game is huge.
I agree, man. He's kind of been a little bit non-existent, surprisingly. But you know what? VBD did get lucky. He didn't call a timeout on that first play and let him go ahead and get a first down. So now he's got all 3 timeouts and a minute to go. So he can get this ball back with a minute to go if they can hold him here on these next 3 downs. So there he uses his first timeout.
Kind of lucky he didn't fumble there. Bobby Wagner coming in with the side swiping hit stick.
Yeah, that usually does fumble. Like that kind of hit. Yeah, I agree. It might be because he's X Factor. Got the high carrying. I don't know. X Factors do seem to kind of cancel themselves out. Oh, big jump there for the Patriots. That's offsides for sure. And I think he's going to take that, give him a 2nd and 2 on the opposing 28. Now, it's tough because
you have to send pressure. You have to send pressure and hope that your corners can hold for long enough. You got Gilmore on OBJ. I'd probably put them in man and then have the 2 safeties. But then you have that. I think that kind of ends it.
It does, but it also doesn't. It depends because VBD is very likely just going to let this clock run out and
go down, call timeouts.
Yeah, and call a icing timeout. That's the goal. You're going to try to ice the kicker. That's a necessity at this point. You got to let the kicker come onto the field, then you get the ice and just hope and pray he misses that field goal.
It's under 10 seconds, so he's definitely going to get iced. Above 10 seconds, if you kick the field goal before 10 seconds, you can negate the icing of the kicker. After 10 seconds, it's already done. There it is. But he is in the middle of the field, so it does make it a little bit easier. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but I don't know exactly where the wind is coming from.
And there it is, right down the middle. And Cleveland will win this game. They are going to the Super Bowl for the 2nd time this cycle. New England has a great run this season, but it ends in Cleveland, Ohio. What a game we saw today, man. What a game.
That's huge. That's huge game. That's 2 big boys in the AFC playing against each other and it coming down to the wire. That's exactly how you expect that game to go.
Man, great game all the way through. Huge stats for guys like Saquon. Good game by McSorley as well. We saw a big game from him. He played out of his mind, actually. I think that for such a low overall quarterback, he kind of pulled a Viper Palmer and tried to make something happen for the season. But the Patriots season ends in Cleveland.
Good game, boys.
Was a good game on both sides. Good season, VBD. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll have the next game. I don't know if Jared will be with me. We'll have to see what his schedule looks like.
Yeah, I got you.
Absolutely. Good deal. So in about 30 minutes, we'll kick back up for this NFC Championship. You guys have been watching XCFL Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will talk to you guys later.
Peace.